Welcome back. Highly Caffeinated Movies coming at you with another 3 hidden gems right now that you can stream on your favorite streaming services. I think we all enjoyed this week's movies. We had what did you guys think of the movies this week? Decent selection. Better than last week.
Yep. Yeah, I can say that.
Corey, better than last week.
They were all better than last week. Yes, all 3 of them were better than all of them.
I disagree slightly, but we can get into that later.
All 3 of them.
Our picks this week were
Colossal.
no.
Yours is Colossal.
Mine was Colossal. We're doing Colossal.
Oh
I'll just going over the picks for this week. What was your pick this week?
Angel of Mine.
Angel of Mine. Mine was Colossal, and Corey's was
Odd Thomas.
Odd Thomas.
Classic
Piece of trash. But first we're gonna get into my pick this week. Colossal
piece of trash.
That's not true.
Yes.
Colossal was made in 2016. Writer-director Nacho Vigalondo.
That's a good name.
It's a great name.
A great name.
He's from Spain. I watched a few interviews with him in the cast. English is his second language, so he kind of speaks it. It's a little hard for him, but he's done a lot of Spanish film, directed and written a lot of Spanish movies and feature films. Also, he's done segments in ABCs of Death and VHS Viral, which I did not care for as much as the other 2 VHS movies.
I don't think I watched that one.
It was a major.
I watched the first
drop-off.
2, and I was just like, I got the point.
I liked it.
So.
I was kind of hoping it would continue the trend of decent horror, I guess, short stories.
Yeah.
And VHS Viral missed the mark. Did you see any of the VHS movies?
No.
Not actual VHS movies like that.
No, an actual title called VHS.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I don't think I have.
I know the answer to that.
It stars Jason Sudeikis, Anne Hathaway, Tim Blake Nelson, and Dan Stevens from a very good movie.
Awesome movie.
Called The Guest. Yeah. Which maybe we'll feature that, but that one's kind of more...
It's not really a hidden gem, I guess.
No, that one's... It's still... I think it's like around 80,000.
I feel like a lot of people missed it.
It's one of my favorite... It was definitely my favorite movie that came out that year.
As soon as he popped in, I was like, oh, what's his name?
But he plays a totally different character in this. He's a weird boyfriend in it.
I didn't.
Which was kind of upsetting to me a little bit.
That made me want to go watch The Guest.
Did you see The Guest?
That's going to be a no.
Jesus Christ. Come on, man. It's a really good movie. You should check it out.
No, don't have me go watch that.
Anne Hathaway, I thought, had a great performance. I love the character that she played in this movie.
Yeah, her and Sudeikis were very good banter back and forth.
Good banter, good chemistry.
They kind of bounced each other off really well.
I was kind of glued. I loved all of their interactions. I liked the character she played. She played a person who was struggling with alcoholism.
Yeah.
But yet you could tell she was a good person and she meant well, but she was just struggling with her own addictions.
Yeah. Tim Blake Nelson's also in it.
Who's that?
Love Tim Blake Nelson. He's the older drunk guy at the bar.
The one that he goes on a rant about.
Yeah, that he's supposedly doing cocaine.
Yeah.
He's awesome, man.
We know you're not in the bathroom taking a dump back there. You don't have to pretend to flush.
He's been in so many movies. He was awesome in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, though.
That's actually one I haven't seen.
Oh, the movie's so good. I've seen that like 8 times.
I do enjoy Clooney too. So.
Yeah, it's a great movie. Love that one.
But Anne Hathaway, she's it's not an amazing performance by any means, but she captures the character very well, and she's really good in that role.
She fits the part.
Yeah, I really enjoyed her performance. I really loved her character. But I believe the star of the show is Jason Sudeikis.
You were saying something about how he just didn't play what he normally plays.
For the first half of the movie, he did.
Right.
Yeah, that was his normal. Like, the first half of the movie, he's Jason Sudeikis.
Smarmy.
Smart ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just that guy. He's good at it, though. Like, it's just natural to him.
I love stuff like this.
It's like when you watch Ryan Reynolds, you just feel like Ryan Reynolds is being Ryan Reynolds a lot of the time.
Right. And
I
I
get
love
that.
when they step out of their wheelhouse
Me too.
and they do something different. And I get doing what you're good at. And you get a lot of calls. Get that Ryan Reynolds guy or get Jason Sudeikis. He's perfect for that.
Yeah, he'd be good with that.
But Jason Sudeikis, he kind of makes a turn, I guess, maybe halfway through the movie.
Yeah, that's kind of where the movie went downhill.
I always enjoy
Downhill?
Yeah.
You think the movie went downhill?
Yeah, first half was good.
Ooh. I've got some gripes with it, but I don't know if it went downhill.
I know I always like when an actor steps out their comfort zone and then nails it.
I believe he did that in this movie.
I guess I'm being nice.
I didn't expect it coming at all.
Wow, are you covering for Odd Thomas here?
No,
Because
no.
but Jason Sudeikis' character makes a turn, I guess, midway through the movie, and I really thought he did excellent, stepping out of his comfort zone, playing this part to the end. I'm not a big fan of when a character, like a guy, just an actress, just does the same exact movie over and over. You just plug him in. It gets like the first three
know
movies.
What's gonna happen.
You just know who they're playing. You know what their character is. You know what it is, and I love stuff like this where they step out of that comfort zone and they do something different. And I think he succeeds in this role, and does a great job.
He did do a good job. I like watching movies with him in it.
So I also enjoy this movie because it's definitely not a normal story. It's definitely something I hadn't seen before. It's kind of a different take on a certain type of story, I guess you could say. But they did it with limited locations. Like, I think they filmed in like a bar setting, an apartment setting, and like that park setting outside.
An apartment, they just showed the one room.
Right. And they took those three locations and they did film some stuff in Korea, I'm assuming. And they made what I thought was a really good movie just by storytelling, because those 4 locations really on their own don't hold much weight, but they did a lot with it. And I always like to see filmmakers get creative with what they're doing and making the most out of what they options. Have. Yeah. So they probably didn't have a very big budget. I know in an interview, Anne Hathaway said that she was kind of just looking to make an indie movie here, just kind of do something a little different. She enjoyed the story.
I had a bit of that feel. Yeah. Indie movie, just kind of there.
Yeah. But I love indie movies that do like take a premise like that and just do a great job with it.
I like the premise. I just think it could have done a little different.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. There was some things I didn't like about it. The ending, for one.
Yeah.
I did not care for the way it ended, which we can talk a little bit about later.
Yeah.
But to me, I thought it also kind of dragged on a little bit longer than it should. I thought they probably could have shaved maybe 10, 20 minutes off of it.
Yeah. There was a lot of filler in the middle with it, just them.
I thought so.
Yeah.
And I think that the ending, I got why they did it that way, but I personally would have rather seen a different ending.
Me, what? When I watched it, I watched the trailer, and this was the movie I was most excited for this week. I watched the trailer and I was like, this is gonna be the best movie we watched this week.
Yeah. And
I had pretty high hopes for it, and it didn't meet those.
You don't watch the trailer, man. That's rule number 1.
That's probably why I liked his. I didn't watch the trailer. Just not gonna watch.
I don't watch anything going into a movie. I either take a recommendation or I read a small synopsis.
I'm going to stop watching the trailer because that kind of affected how I view the movie because I was so excited for this movie.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disappoint you.
Yes, you did.
Now you know
you love disappointing me.
Now you know how your dad feels. All right, Lewis, what did you think on this one?
I wasn't totally into it, but I didn't think it was bad either.
No, I didn't think the acting was great. I liked the idea of the story.
I liked the acting. I liked when Jason switched his persona.
It's very different. It
kind of shocked me a little bit when I was like, where is this coming from?
Yeah. I was when I was watching, I was just like,
what's going on? At the beginning of the movie they were childhood friends.
Right.
But you don't know exactly anything about that relationship. You just know they knew each other.
She don't remember much of her
Which-
childhood because she's.
Yeah, they go into that, and I wish they would have actually had a little bit more, given us a little more background on that than they
Right.
See,
did.
and
Yeah.
but not given that background is what shocked me whenever his personality switched.
Yeah.
Because
You were just like, what's happening? Like, what? Like, I was halfway through the movie. I'm like, what's going on right now? He's lost his damn mind. What's happening?
Yeah.
Without giving away spoilers, that was what I was just like,
Yeah.
I don't
All you
understand
know-
why he's doing this right now.
all you know from the beginning,
And
of
you
the
never
movie-
really find out.
All you know.
I
From
mean,
the
I guess
beginning
you
of the
do a
movie
little
is
bit.
that she was more popular.
He's an ass.
He was.
That's
He
how
was
he
always a second place.
In adulthood, I guess. But we can get into that
Yeah.
spoiler. That's
Yeah.
spoiler territory. But I was just
No,
like,
at the
what is
beginning of the
General
movie,
thoughts.
they talk about her writing the short story,
Yeah.
and that just kind of hints, and then you see it a little bit more in their adult life, and then it goes on.
Sounds like he was a little bitter.
He was.
I can relate to that.
What did more about
General
how you
thoughts.
felt about the
How did it make you feel? Did you cry?
No.
Yeah.
No, I didn't cry. It
So-
didn't tug at any heartstrings too
No,
much.
it did not.
It kept me watching. I didn't get mad like in some movies.
I wasn't bored watching the movie at all.
I did.
I think it ran a little too long towards
Yeah,
the end. I
it
was like,
did.
all right, this needs to wrap up. But
Yeah, I kind of got that a little bit.
I would hang out at that bar though. Either side,
with jerk Jason Sudeikis or nice guy Jason Sudeikis?
preferably both. As
We
long
could
as he's not blowing
Turn
it up
into
while I'm in
a
there.
Buster
As long as-
Smallheart situation.
Yeah.
Split personality.
Yeah,
Strikes again.
Well, the bar's split in half, so he can be one on one side, one on the other.
That's true.
So, which side's the asshole?
Probably why he left it.
And then
I'm gonna put him
3/4 through the movie, they'll be like, it's the same guy. Oh my god, I've never seen that before. Wait, yes I have, like 70 times.
I'm already done with my comment.
I just wasn't interested in reviewing this movie in general.
Oh,
I thought it's worth a watch.
okay.
I'll throw that out there.
Okay.
I just didn't care for half of it, and I'm not saying like a specific half, just like large chunks here and there that add up to about half of it. And like you said, it dragged a little at the end.
Yep.
Unlike you though, I wasn't really like.
CGI was good though. I like the monster.
Yeah, I wasn't pissed off about how the end went though.
I mean, considering it wasn't like a high budget movie with their effects were pretty good.
No, I will say though, I doubt they've made any money. They probably
Oh, yeah,
lost a
they
ton of money
lost
on this
lots
thing.
of
When
money.
I was looking at the numbers, it was like, yeah.
Yeah,
It cost like around $15 million to make, and I think it grossed maybe like 8.
Yeah, that's about right.
So they're probably they took a hit on this one.
Yeah, Nacho should probably just stick to making Spanish movies.
Nacho Libre 2.
Yeah.
I'd watch
Did they
it.
make that? I thought
No.
they did.
Oh, like a terrible straight to DVD one?
Did they?
I hope not.
I thought they did.
Oh no, Jack Black wants to make another one, but yeah, I don't think they have anybody on board. Rating.
I think Jack Black just wants to make anything. Where
He's
can-
the
He's
man.
in all kinds of
He
stuff.
just he just enjoys his craft.
He was in the new Chucky movie. I
Really?
just watched. Yeah.
Rating.
It's an A through F
I have
scale.
to say B.
You don't say.
Yeah, don't.
I'm gonna go with a B.
Did you look at the spreadsheet that you made of all of our ratings? It's all of his are B's. Everything's a B.
No. I was going back to the episode so I could update the spreadsheet, and then I had him on one where he gave his review, and you were like, "Are you serious?" And then he was like, "Wow!" And then he changed it. I'm like, "Nope, I'm marking it in the spreadsheet for his first reaction."
That's messed
So
up.
I changed the ratings.
No.
in the spreadsheet.
It's cheating.
Well, that was his initial. You influenced his vote.
It happens all the time.
It does happen all the time. So you give it a B?
I was debating between B and B minus. Definitely better than last week's.
Oh yeah, it was better.
Yeah. Definitely better than last week's.
I give you
But I'm not saying B minus. The acting was good. There was nothing about it I didn't like. There was just not a lot.
But
there
it
was
just
thing-
doesn't seem
nothing
like you liked
liked.
anything
it just
about it.
didn't. Yeah, it didn't stand out.
That's the thing is nothing I didn't like, but there's nothing I really liked.
Gotcha.
So it just
It was
kind of
just-
floats
I
right
can
there in the
see
middle. and I can see other people liking it a lot more, and other people hating it a lot more. So right there.
All right, segue.
Me?
Yeah. What you got?
All right, so it was funny. The effects, the monster. I did like how the appearance of the monster and everything, but I feel like it kind of just fell off, and I didn't really care for it that much.
Okay.
But I liked the story and like how it built up, and I liked all the actors were great. I just felt like it could have ended better.
Yeah.
And like that second half was just like I did not expect it to go that way at all, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just
You would have rather see it go somewhere.
Yeah,
else.
I would have rather seen a different direction. But
I
mean, I guess they were trying to be different, and they did. And the gross total amount of money they made shows.
Ouch.
So they didn't make it. So I am going to give this a C+. I still recommend people to watch it because it does have some really good stuff in it.
I think so.
And there's still some really funny parts of the movie that I like. Without getting into spoilers, like some of the scenes I was just cracking up.
Yeah, I chuckled a few times.
Easily better than all of our picks last week.
Yes.
And it's not even close, including mine.
Yeah, no, it was.
No. So that's
I was watching an interview with Nacho and Anne Hathaway, and the interviewer.
I like the people in the movie, so and when I watched the trailer, I was like, and the story looked really good. I was like, I'm gonna love this movie. I already know I'm gonna love this movie.
It did. There were some areas I wish
I was like, how did I miss this movie? And then I watched it, and I'm like, now I know why I kind of missed this movie. Because everyone missed it. So.
Yeah, the interview that I was watching with Nacho and Anne Hathaway, the interviewer, or Jason Sudeikis asked, he asked Nacho how he explains to people what type of movie this is. No, it was Anne Hathaway asked that, and he said, I just tell them to go see it. It's a movie. Yeah. Like him and Anne Hathaway were like, just go see it.
It mixes a lot of things.
I don't want to paint it a certain way. Just go check it out. It's a movie.
Yeah.
So
it's
the trailer may have painted it one way, but the filmmaker and actors kind of knew what it was. Mm-hmm. But of course, marketing and
you gotta try to get butts in the seats to make back that $15 million.
Yes, you do. So I would give it the same as I would probably give it a B-. So I think we're all on the same page here.
I was kind of on the fence of B- or C+.
I don't think it does. I think it's better than a C, but yeah. I do understand everything you're saying,
right.
And I also kind of feel the same way. But I thought Jason Sudeikis elevated it for me, and I enjoyed.
But I know some people that will probably enjoy this movie.
Right. Yeah. So I guess that'll give it a B- because you gave it B.
Yeah, B-.
B-. I'd recommend you check this one out.
Yeah.
I thought it was really good. It's a different kind of movie. I love stories that I haven't seen on.
It is an original story for sure. That's the one thing.
To me, that boosts a movie up plus 20 points. Anything, I'm like, oh, I haven't seen this before. Yeah. I'm in it. I'm in at that point.
Anything that happens more than 5 times from 5 different directors, he kills it.
I don't kill it. You can still do it well, but
it's harder.
Man, if I've just seen the same thing, we watch a lot of movies, so if I've seen the same thing 20 times, you really have to reinvent the wheel almost on a tried and true story. And
yeah,
Gloria, you got to see this.
What is he doing?
It's dancing.
Is dancing like?
Holy shit! It stopped.
All right, so welcome to the spoiler portion of episode 6, Highly Caffeinated Movies. We're going to move right into it. The first movie that we're going to talk about, more in-depth and spoiler-related information, we're going to get into Colossal, which was my pick this week. Mm-hmm. So, spoiler-related and more in-depth plot analysis. I'm just going to go ahead and kind of point out some things on this one. At the very beginning, before where the boyfriend breaks up with her.
Oh, yeah.
I really love that is a great scene.
It is.
They get in the fight. He packs all her stuff. and breaks up with her, walks out, and then all the people were waiting for him to
Everybody's
leave.
waiting outside.
Her
Yeah,
party
awesome.
friends or whatever.
Because it's like 6 a.m. and everybody's still ready to party. And my immediate reaction is like, man, I remember doing that at 6 a.m.
They all like flood the apartment after she just got kicked out.
Yeah.
I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
So that kind of kicked the movie off on a positive note.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't positive for her, but it was funny for us.
I
laughed.
So, she gets kicked out of her new boyfriend's place. She's unemployed. She goes back to her hometown where she then bumps into Jason Sudeikis.
Little small town.
Yeah. She bumps into Jason Sudeikis while she's tugging around her air mattress, and he says, "Hey, I'm going to work at the bar that I own."
Where was she going?
She was going to the apartment that her parents or something owned, but they weren't rented.
Well, I thought they dropped her off there. I didn't understand where she was going.
Aimlessly wandering.
I guess. Whatever.
But she goes and hangs out at the bar with Jason Sudeikis and the bar regulars. They kind of have
small
a good
town
time.
bar, that's all the same people.
Probably one of 2 bars in the whole town.
Yeah.
So what? Your Oscar's secret?
No.
We don't know anything about you.
We were friends in elementary school, and then I moved to New York, and I've lived there ever since.
So then, I guess she passes out or something. What happens that night? The monster appears
that first night.
Yeah.
They just get drunk as a group.
That's right.
You don't see anything until at the end of the night, early in the morning. She trudges home. She goes through the park, carrying her stuff. Gets home, passes out. When she wakes up, that's when it continues.
That's when
The
she
news
gets
story.
woken up by a phone call about check the news.
And that was cool. At that point, I still didn't really.
Am I the only person that if that happens and it's on the news, I would be like, oh, this is amazing.
What?
Oh, they were all very nonchalant about the
They
whole
were all
thing.
they were like, oh my god, this is tragic, and I'm just like, there's a giant monster. How cool is this?
Well, they were also like, oh yeah, that happened 8 hours ago. Where you been? Cause she wakes up in the afternoon.
Yeah,
He's like,
we already processed all of that. It's fine.
And then one of the guys a little bit later was like, yeah, it happened 20 years ago too. It's old news. What?
Yeah, he
It's
just
still
kinda-
a giant monster destroying the city.
It didn't destroy anything at that point, I don't think. Because she just walked over the playground and it was just kind of like a sighting, I think.
I think she went through some buildings.
Oh.
But
I don't remember.
Well, she definitely smashed some things.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're that size, you're gonna smash some stuff.
Yeah.
But I like the monster. The monster was really cool though.
Jason, whatever. So
And
then
they
she
just
starts.
continue.
She starts working at the bar, and she kind of starts piecing it together. I guess that when she
it
goes to
happens
this
again, it happens
playground,
again, and then she starts piecing together.
yeah, that she is somehow controlling this monster.
Because she noticed
That's a theory.
it would do, because she has a nervous tick where she scratches the top of her head, and then she sees the monster do it, and she's like, I'm the only person that I know that does that, because it's weird.
Correct. And so she starts figuring it out, and then she kind of lets the people at the bar in on the secret.
Yeah.
That she.
That was a really funny scene, because
I thought that was good.
she's just dancing.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, it's dancing now. And then they look up and they're like, oh,
Which to your point,
drops jaws.
they really didn't make that big of a deal out of it. Everybody just
No.
kind of accepted it.
Yeah,
and
they were
the
like,
movie
oh, well, this is what it is.
continuing,
Yeah. No.
Which I thought was kind of
Yeah, you
odd.
know what? This is normal. Yeah.
The
Controlling
only
a
people who cared were the
giant
people in
monster
Seoul,
halfway across
Korea.
the world.
Yeah.
They were the only people to care. The people who were getting stomped on. And
Yeah, they didn't care,
like
and
that.
she was stressing out about it. Like, I've killed so many people.
Yeah, and
they
then
didn't care at all.
yeah,
They were just like, let's do it again.
yeah, and they really, I
Yeah. And then when she sleeps in one day and she's not there, and they go to the park anyway. Whenever he finds out that he can do it too with the robot,
Oh, yeah.
they go to the park without her and start
He's just messing on. Yeah, he's just perfect.
That's when it started. That's when the
That's
switch
when he
started.
just started just going.
I
off
guess
the
he was
deep end.
extremely jealous
But
of what had
apparently
happened,
he was an ass from a child. He was just hiding.
and she just didn't remember it. She had repressed memories of him being an ass or something.
Yeah.
Well, once she kind of lets him in on it, I think at that point they kind of like, again, they don't really think that big of a deal of it. They want to see her do it. I think the next night, or they all end up there the next night or next morning as well.
It really goes downhill when she sleeps with the other guy.
She sleeps with the other guy. You think at this point she's gonna like,
I was like,
her
there
and
goes the
Jason
romantic
Sudeikis.
part of her and Jason Sudeikis. Like, it's not
The way it's going, you think she's gonna go back.
like you
to
think
her
it's gonna
small
be that
town.
rom-com, and they're like
Right.
gonna like, the guy that was not popular in high school is gonna get the popular girl that moved off to the big city and did things.
But she just wants to screw the young
She
kid
just wants to
who
get
looks
drunk every
good.
day and
Yeah.
look,
That's just her though.
that's the way it is. You have to always pick the
I'm not mad at her.
fit idiot.
I mean, Jason Sudeikis is no slouch in
No,
this
he's
movie,
not.
you know?
But he's portraying
Yeah.
something else.
Right.
And the other guy's just like chiseled guy.
I don't know if they're getting in an altercation or something, and that's when he actually finds out that when he steps in the sandbox as well.
Yes.
That first time that she showed him, she started getting shot at by the helicopters and stuff. So she started freaking out, and then she's like, "Well, where are they?" And she starts freaking out. She falls over, and then she passes out.
Right. That's right.
And then when she wakes up, like she blacks out, I guess, because when she wakes up, she says, "Like, look, that's not all that happened. Look, we had a conversation." And he shows him as a robot and her as the monster arguing or whatever.
Right.
And but she was freaking out so much that she wasn't listening to them saying, "Hey, look, he's a."
Yeah. So then he finds out that he can do it too, and basically uses his life.
They don't ever explain why until the very end of the movie.
Correct.
And I still feel that reason was kind of blah.
It was. They didn't really explain it well.
Magical lightning.
Yeah.
Just a weird sci-fi.
Magical
part.
lightning, and just like you get the impression
And
that he
Hathaway
was
summoned some type of lightning from another universe and created powers to control the monster.
and then he was holding.
But it has to be on the exact opposite end of the world.
So the Korean girl was holding the monster that she went into.
Yes, it was like her little action figure or whatever.
But Jason Sudeikis was holding the thing that he turned into, which
Robot.
didn't make
None of it made any sense.
that didn't make sense. And then that scene.
I mean, that explains that scene explains why he is the way he is. They finally explained to you because you're just like, I mean, like I understand he's upset. You could tell he liked her and she slept with the other guy. I get it, but he is going on another level.
Right.
But it turns out, you find out he's
You assume from that scene that he's a bully
Yes, yeah. He was jealous because she did better.
at making the house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you notice it was there was like a Korean flag in the diorama?
I did not notice that.
Yeah, there was a Korean flag in there too.
Okay.
She did.
So I guess that was like the Korean part.
Oh man, I didn't reckon.
Yeah.
They're asking a lot
Yeah.
for me to pay attention.
Well,
to that.
I took Taekwondo when I was a kid, and there was a Korean flag, so I kind of know what the Korean flag is.
Okay.
That's
You
the
didn't
only
take
reason I knew it.
Taekwondo.
That's the only reason I know it. I did too. I have belts in my mom's house. She
Why-
kept all of them. No, I got all the way to red.
The one.
Was that the second one?
Not
No,
the
it was
yellow.
like after red, there's red, black, and then there's black. Yeah. I couldn't break the boards. I was very small.
And
It's
we
hard to believe at that point. I was very skinny. Then went on an eating spree after that.
never stop.
Didn't stop.
I'm not a quitter.
Don't quit.
He ate to.
I said I was too small to break
fill
the boards.
hole
I
in his
showed
heart.
you.
He ate to fill the hole in his heart created by the
Yeah.
fact that he never got that next
Yeah.
belt.
So I want to talk a little bit more about, like, okay, so the scene when they're kids, it really
That was kind
that
of
painted
brings
a
it
picture.
together.
It brings it together, but it also like I needed
Sucked.
more of
Sucked.
like their relationship as a kid. Like you just know that one bad thing happened to her.
Yeah.
Was this bullying,
Yeah. Was
Up
he
until
always
this point,
bullying her,
or did he just smash her diorama one day and that she just lost her mind?
Like to me, it appeared though, like he was smashing it and she wasn't. She didn't notice. Like he thought that he was doing it where she couldn't see him.
Yeah, but are you?
But it doesn't really. But she is right there. Like I don't understand. It was weird.
And I mean, I guess
And she
I'm
just
assuming
completely
that
repressed- 'cause,
he was just a bully.
I guess both of them forgot all of that because the lightning, the magical lightning.
Well, yeah, I wish more would have been on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish they would have like developed that like how it happened, a different way. I wanted that to be different.
Yeah, so they both can control these two monsters. Jason Sudeikis turns into a complete animal.
Yeah,
and
he's just savage.
He basically makes her feel so guilty. He says, "If you leave this town, if you go with your boyfriend, I'm gonna kill these people every morning."
But she's basically hostage. Yeah, like I love the scene where her boyfriend comes back. That just broke up with her. He comes back. Yeah, he's not very tough in this.
No,
his bar scenes in The Guest were much better.
Yes, I was hoping he would channel some of
that. Yeah, but no, he did not. Because Jason Sudeikis is just like, what's the most irresponsible thing that could be done in there? And then he goes in the back and gets this giant firework and just sets it off when everybody's in there.
This is the most.
I love like he's giving this like speech as he's just throwing chairs against the wall. Like he's all calm, but he's just flying these chairs.
And I get why. I understand
he just
it.
Went completely off the rails.
That kind of fell flat to me. I was like, okay, that whole scene took like 10 minutes to set up.
There was a lot of build up.
And I was like,
they could have did that. That's where they could have shaved a couple minutes right there, for sure.
Just to prove that, I mean, she's already going to stay because she knows that.
Yeah.
But he didn't have to do that whole fireworks scene.
Yeah, but it was funny though. His delivery is like, I just did the most irresponsible thing you can do in this bar, and she's still not going to leave with you.
That kind of fell flat for me. I was just like,
yeah.
But
I did want to see the firework go off. I was like, man, I hope he lights it.
That one guy just wanted a cup of coffee.
Yeah. That guy's at the bar in the middle of the day. He's like, can I just get a cup of coffee?
He's like, in a minute. And never gets his coffee.
He never gets his coffee. That poor guy, man. All he wanted was some coffee. He was the hero of the movie, for sure.
Another thing I thought was funny is at one point when she creates a message to I guess tell the people of Korea, like she writes it in the dirt.
Yeah.
But they go to
some Korean people
to get them to write something out.
Completely unnecessary.
They could have just wrote it in English.
Yeah, just wrote it in English. There are a lot of people in Korea that speak English too. So you act like no one in Korea can speak English. They'd be like, what is this? This alien technology.
The news is covering the whole thing, like
it's
live.
Global news. Yeah, there's live feed. Yeah, it's stupid. You just write it in English.
That was another wasted scene again.
That was an easy one to cut minutes off of.
But let's,
especially if you accidentally make one of those little marks wrong and it's a completely different word now.
Yeah, and not to mention she can't even. Well, I guess she could see because she was writing it in the mulch.
Yeah, she was writing it in the mulch. So yeah, she could see what she was doing, but you're also trying to write in Korean, like whatever their alphabet is, and that's not your language. You don't know how to do that.
That's another useless scene.
Yeah.
So, he threatens her, keeps her there, saying he's gonna kill people. I like how she handled it. Like it was just, I was like, oh, that was a pretty decent idea right there. How she got him to stop.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one thing I think that we need to definitely talk about the ending.
Yeah, the ending for sure.
So the way she gets him to stop and fixes this whole thing is she flies straight to Korea.
She just gets this idea in her head that if I go there, then I'm gonna appear over here.
She has no idea if it's actually gonna work.
I don't know if this will work.
On a whim.
Yeah.
Just
fly to Korea.
And find, well, I guess it would be easy to find the exact spot because he would be there. But one thing I don't understand also is that these monsters keep popping up in Korea.
No one leaves.
Nobody leaves.
Oh, no one in Korea. They're all just walking around. They're like, 805.
Again? The monster again?
805. Oh, this is the worst. God, I was trying to get dinner. That's what I was complaining about that during that movie. I'm like, wait, so there's a giant monster running around the town. Then there's a giant monster and a robot destroying stuff. And none of you people evacuate the city. Just get out because it's not going anywhere.
It stays
in like a 2-block area. Like it's not going anywhere. Just not be there. It doesn't make any sense. Like, you know what? This whole area of the town's dead now. We just let them destroy it.
We're gonna go build our city over there.
Yeah, we'll just not go. We'll just not go there.
Yeah, sorry, I mean, we'll relocate you. It's fine. Just go to the other part.
But
that was a little stupid. But
it was. But she finally confronts him by going to Korea because she assumes the monster the monster will show up at the playground where they were doing it before, just because of teleportation theory. I don't know.
I don't know, man.
So So then, basically she pops up as the monster at the sandbox, and Jason Sudeikis is like, oh, and she picks him up, and he calls her a effing B.
Yeah. Well, he pretends like he's going to like repent, and he's not, and then he's like, you.
And I definitely didn't see it going that way either. I thought that she would just kind of scare him and put him down, and he would change his ways, and maybe...
you figured that was the way it was going to go, and no. He went back to crazy and just to get himself killed. Because, you have no power at that point. And he's like, screw it, I'm going to keep being an asshole.
She throws him. I'm assuming kills him. She just chucks him as a monster. And
he went.
The giant robot might have survived, but
yeah, he was.
Since he was doing the exact same thing on the other side, he was probably 50, 60 feet in the air.
You just see the robot just fly.
Poor guy.
So then, after that, everybody cheers in Korea, and then she walks into the bar, and the bartender asks her she said...
In a Korean bar, yeah.
Korean bar. Yeah. And... she says she's got a hell of a story or something. This is the bartender.
You want to hear a really good story?
Right.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I just watched this movie. Is it really a good story?
Then the bartender asks her if she wants a drink, and she kind of makes a face like, maybe. And then it just
Do I want to go back to my degenerate ways and throwing my life away by getting drunk every night and blacking out? Yeah.
But she doesn't say yeah. It cuts with her just kind of like, and then it goes to black. And I didn't like that ending. I get why they ended it that way.
I wanted to like this movie so much.
I enjoyed it again because I had seen it one time before. I enjoyed it. I watched it again last night with Whitney. I enjoyed it.
I just wanted to. I just thought it was going to be so much better.
Expectations, man.
Like, man, I was like, this is gonna be an A. I just know it.
Stop watching the trailers.
Yeah, I'm done with trailers, man. I'm done with trailers, man.
The message I got from this and was basically that Anne Hathaway's character is addicted to alcohol. She has a drinking problem.
Oh yeah, she's definitely a drinking problem.
When you abuse alcohol, you indirectly hurt people that may or may not be close to you, which is kind of the message I was getting with the monster in Korea. It's way over there. She killed all those people when she fell down.
You're an alcoholic, and because you're an alcoholic, you're killing thousands of people over there.
Right, and that's it's supposed to translate into you hurt
parallelism.
It's not killing people when you drink. It's you hurt people that you may or may not.
I get the alcoholic part. Yeah,
and I also feel like it's kind of a take on bullying. You don't know much about Anne Hathaway and Jason Sudeikis' character as a kids, but you get the impression that Jason Sudeikis' character is a bully.
Well, I don't get that impression. You get the impression that he was
You
jealous.
just think in that one moment
because
he was
when
jealous.
They reconnect, she didn't treat him like, oh, this guy was a bully.
That's true.
But I met somebody that was a bully to me.
This guy did one mean thing to you, and you got so mad or was it just a lightning thing that happened?
None of it makes sense.
But to me, it was like, well, then that just throws the whole theory about Anne Hathaway got bullied. She kind of had a rough childhood. It turned her to alcohol.
Yeah.
Jason Sudeikis is your typical bully. He was a jerk as a kid. Now he's still stuck in that same small town, working a shitty job.
Yeah.
And is the girl that he liked left him because he was boring. Basically, kind of being what probably most bullies end up to be when they get older.
If they're lucky, they get to own a bar.
Yeah, I guess. And then they meet each other back, I guess 20 years later or whatever it is.
Like that, yeah.
They're
clearly in their 30s.
They both kind of, she was somewhat successful. She got out of the small town. He didn't. And then when he found out she had the special power of becoming a monster, he was jealous of it. And then he found out he had it too. And he kind of felt like he had something special there.
He was always jealous of her.
You have to assume that because they really
he does
didn't
tell
give
you
you
the
much.
Story about how he would write stuff and then she would always have
it would be better. Right. Yeah. That is true. Yeah. So maybe the bully angle isn't a way to.
Yeah. I didn't pick up on that.
I was just trying to me in my head I was thinking that the reason the lightning hit her and the whole thing happened was because she was just so angry. Powers. I guess it's the magical
She's got magical powers and she could summon lightning.
I guess.
I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Kind of that part was just like.
A lot of Anne Hathaway's character in the interview with her and Nacho.
I need
He
a friend
kinda-
named Nacho though.
It's a great name.
That's a great name.
That is.
You think Laney will let me name the first kid Nacho?
I hope so.
I'm gonna go for it.
That needs to be at the top of your list.
Yeah, Nacho's the number
That's your
one.
top three.
You know,
That's
if
one
it's
of
a
your top
boy,
three.
my first option is Nacho. If it's a girl, first option.
She
is probably
ultimately
Nacho.
has veto power, though. So.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Oh, but Nacho said there was a lot of himself in Anne Hathaway's character, just
An
because
alcoholic.
I assumed he had trouble with alcoholism, even though he felt like he was a good person.
He didn't like Jason Sudeikis either. So.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently not. But yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to say on this one.
He
was
was
also-
covered most of it.
He
Has he
was
done
obsessed with her for a good, like, it wasn't just the jealousy of whenever she went home with his friend, and slept with his friend, and then he got
He
mad.
was.
He was
I mean, a little
he
bit.
knew-
Of that, but
why she was there when she showed up. Like, he knew she
Oh,
left
yeah, he
because she
immediately-
got fired and her boyfriend broke up with her and all that
yeah,
stuff.
he knew everything because he
Because
apparently
he'd
had
been stalking.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Like,
Stalking her, and
He was keeping tabs. on
her whole life, she had been trying to forget that town and everything to do with
She
it.
was.
And then his whole life was attached to hers.
Yeah, he was jealous that she got out, and he did.
they should have
They
instead
should
of
have delved more on that, though.
delved more on that instead of having those useless other scenes, like maybe flashback to kind of add more to that relationship when they were little.
We definitely should have had more of Tim Blake Nelson doing coke in the bathroom, though. I love
We
his.
never-
I've been clean, man.
I've been clean for 4 years. Yeah, sure you are. Yeah, well, like we know. Yeah, you're taking a poop. Yeah,
But-
Mhm.
I have
we
bowel
all know what you're
problems.
doing. in
We
there.
never find out if
And
he's
he
really
just-
doing it or
No,
not.
you don't. I mean, I'm assuming he was. It wouldn't surprise me.
One other thing is the guy she ends up sleeping with, the younger
That
guy.
like his story
Let's-
went nowhere.
Story went nowhere and just lets Jason Sudeikis be a complete asshole.
Yeah,
So
like he's just
what
going.
the hell
Like
is
they're
that?
like he punches her, and this guy's like, "Yeah, well, they're just gonna let him do their
yeah,
thing."
it's kind of a jerk,
Yeah, like
What
I
are
didn't
you
understand
doing?
him at all.
That didn't.
Like his character was only there to be a hot guy for Anne Hathaway to hook up with. That was it.
But you just feel like he wouldn't just sit there and watch Jason.
No, like I
Jason
mean,
Sudeikis
you
treat
would
her
like to think he's not a shitty person, but
Right.
apparently he is.
You would know a lot about being it.
I do. Rude. How rude.
Yeah, I guess that'll wrap up the spoiler discussion for Colossal. I think we all recommend at least watching it
Yeah, it's
on your own at least one time. I think it's worth a watch.
Yeah, it's
we have some few gripes, but I really do think it's worth a watch. It's currently streaming on Hulu, which all of our movies actually this week are streaming
This week was the
on
Hulu week.
That's right. So as always, thank you for listening and watching from Highly Caffeinated Movies, and we'll see you guys next week.